Antarctica is certainly one of our least explored corners of the Earth. It takes a great deal of planning and preparation to begin to make an expedition to Antarctica, so it's not like researchers are regularly able to pop on over. Nonetheless, we know that a great number of mysteries and wonders are hidden within the frosty continent, so as our technology, safety measures and knowledge all continue to advance, we become increasingly able to explore the avenues often left uncharted. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be taking a look at 3 recent Antarctic discoveries. A dormant underwater volcano in Antarctica awakened and triggered thousands of earthquakes. The frozen continent is somewhat deceiving. While this terrain is a large mass of snow, ice and cold, Antarctica is actually a desert, the largest in the world in fact. Despite the lack of sand, heat and cacti, Antarctica experiences hardly any rain, meaning that we classify the icy land as a desert. Much like this desert surprise, it might also shock you to know that there are a number of volcanoes in this mysterious environment. Of course, volcanoes are active, dormant or extinct, and these dormant volcanoes are bound to erupt again eventually. A volcano classified as dormant, sat just underwater near Antarctica, has certainly made a statement as it re-entered the scene, erupting and prompting a large string of earthquakes in 2020. From the August to the November of 2020, Antarctica saw a staggering 85,000 earthquakes. This is the strongest earthquake activity that has ever been seen in the Antarctic region. It is thought that they were the result of a small bit of a hot magma moving into the crust, according to some research delving into the bizarre event. Co-author of the study, Dr. Simone Seska, a seismologist at the GFZ German Research Center for Geosciences in Potsdam, explained that we have observed intrusions like this elsewhere, though never in the Antarctic before. She stated, normally these processes occur over geologic timescales. For context, the alternative to them occurring over geologic timescales would be to happen over the course of a human's lifespan, which is, of course, what has happened in the Antarctic, since the tens of thousands of earthquakes occurred over just a few months. Seska continued, adding that we are lucky to be able to see this given the rare manner in which the timeline panned out. The earthquakes all occurred around the Orca Seamount, a volcano that sits 2,950 feet off of the sea floor, in a narrow passage at the northwestern edge of the continent. This is a region that sees the Phoenix tectonic plate and the Antarctic continental plate meet, with that of Phoenix resting below that of the Antarctic. This has caused several rifts and openings, as well as stretching some areas of the crust. For those of us who have remembered our geography classes from school, it goes without saying that the areas where tectonic plates meet are those vulnerable to earthquakes. These natural disasters occur when the plates get stuck in one way or another, resulting in high pressure until they successfully separate. In fact, due to the nature of earthquake occurrences, volcanoes erupting is one of the most common reasons behind an earthquake. The first researchers to feel the impact of these earthquakes were scientists who were stationed at the research centres on King George Island, in the Shetlands. Once the word began to spread, Seska's team, alongside much of the scientific world, began to work on this project. There is often a desire to find out more about these events. Unfortunately for us, King George Island is rather out of the way, with only 2 seismic stations being within close proximity. So these 2 stations, alongside ground stations for the Global Satellite Navigation System, are what provided the data for this research project. There may not have been masses of research perspectives available. The stations that are close by feature intuitive but most importantly sensitive technology, meaning that even the smallest tremors could be picked up and noticed. This, coupled with the research obtained by more distant but more technologically advanced stations, provided the team with a comprehensive overview of the geological processes that led to these whopping 85,000 earthquakes. With regard to the severity of these earthquakes, the highest clocked in at a magnitude of 5.9, a measurement obtained by 2 separate earthquakes. Seska explained that they believed the higher magnitude earthquakes resulted in some fractures that in turn reduced the pressure upon the magma. We are still waiting for evidence to confirm some of our predictions and theories, particularly surrounding the eruption of the volcano. Only time will tell precisely what took place in the late summer and autumn of 2020 in Antarctica. Microbial jungle discovered under Antarctica's largest ice shelf. We have already seen that Antarctica is a desert, though this climate continues to defy our expectations as we find a new possible climate, a jungle. In the spring of 2022, a community of microbial life has been uncovered underneath the layers of ice. Despite the harsh environment, these life forms appear to be flourishing. They are seemingly well adapted to a life of no light and a lack of organic material, not like the rich supply of the ocean. This so-called jungle of microbes has an intricate ecosystem, with the food web relying on inorganic nitrogen and sulfur compounds to form chemical energy. This unique energy source is then put into action, with the carbon dioxide being converted into organic molecules that can be used as fuel. Despite the excitement of life being found beneath the ice in Antarctica, this is not the first time microscopic life beneath the ice has been suggested. It was in the 19th century, during a voyage led by James Clark Ross himself, the namesake for the Ross Ice Shelf, that the thought of tiny living organisms thriving within this space was first suggested. Typically, in ocean life, the underwater ecosystems are propelled by photosynthetic organisms, meaning living things that turn the sunlight into their fuel source. It is then deep into the ocean, where the sunlight does not quite stretch to, that these organic particles sink and can provide fuel to the next portion of marine life. This same understanding cannot apply to the ice shelf, however, as there is no way for the sunlight to reach, and there is no place for these hypothetical organic minerals to go. Despite this, back in 1977, when this space was first researched, microbes, amphipods, and fish were found. Though a great discovery was made, we lacked the ability to delve deeper. Of course, technology has advanced since the 70s, and so our analytical approach is more than well equipped to handle the questions of the day, and so the research has been conducted again, taking a closer look at exactly how the food webs and microbes function in such an impossible environment. Beneath the Antarctic ice lies the remnants of lost continents. There are plenty of opportunities for new research to help us delve into the past and uncover elements of history that we may have never been familiar with before. A mapping of Antarctica completed in 2018 seemed to suggest that the remains of what was once an ancient continent could be sat deep below the Antarctic ice. The map showed eastern Antarctica as being divided into several cratons. Cratons are a big block out in the Earth's crust. It is the outermost layer to the layers of the Earth that forms the center, core, or the most important aspect of a continent. The lead author of the study, Jörg Ebbing, a geoscientist located at the Kiel University in Germany, explained that these ancient continents that seem to have been discovered can be traced all the way back to a supercontinent known as Gondwana. This could help to fill in some knowledge as to how Antarctica and these other continents linked to one another. Furthermore, this study's findings may be able to reveal several key facts about the tectonics, looking at how the plates interact with one another and what these divisions are, as well as looking at the relation and interaction between the land in Antarctica and the ice sheets. Ebbing continued, explaining that the ice, climate, and the distant location means that we admittedly have not got a whole host of information about Antarctica with regard to geology and what precisely is going on beneath the surface. For this study, the team used data obtained from the European Space Agency's Gravity Field and Steady-State Ocean Circulation Explorer. This data helped to fill in some questions left in the study. Another satellite data source was used to virtually remove the ice of Antarctica to catch a glimpse at the bedrock beneath it. It was this bedrock layer that uncovered the ancient continents that went into forming Gondwana. It is estimated that Gondwana separated 180 million years ago, and the continents that make up the continents in the southern hemisphere in our modern day were once what formed this supercontinent. The remaining aspects of the supercontinent could possibly be hiding beneath the Antarctic cold. But what do you make of these interesting Antarctica discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.